This has the potential to be a really strange video, but I think it will make sense. And for those of you who love stationery, more stationery, and more stationery, you're going to love it. Let's see how we get on. Right, it's late at night here in England, and tomorrow I have a flight to Cyprus, which is why I've got my new passport, which arrived 2 weeks ago, to replace one that was very close to expiring. Actually, at the end of June it expires, but it was a 10-day turnaround, and that's all been sorted. I'm going to Cyprus for 1 week, which is a quick visit, but I want to go and see family there, and I want to go on behalf of our family to look at some of our investment activity. My aunt, when I was 13 years old, gave me this cross-century biro. I'm now 62 years old, so this pen has served me incredibly well for a very long time. I was the only 13-year-old boy at school with a gold pen in his blazer, and bizarrely, because it's so special to me, I still wear this very often in my top shirt pocket when I'm out and about. So that's going with me because it's immensely special. What else is going to make the trip? Well, I'm going to do a lot of writing, so my MacBook is going with me. This is a MacBook Air. It's 7 years old, but I find it incredibly useful, and it's the most easy to use device. A friend of mine the other day, who's a Word user and a Microsoft user, said to me, "Look, Nick, why are you so pro MacBooks?" And the reason is because it's such an intuitive tool. I don't use my laptop for very much other than Word documents. Obviously, I start in Pages, which is the Mac creative document for me as a writer. I use spreadsheets quite a lot for managing our household budget. I used to use them every day for debt reduction until I was debt free, which took me years after my bankruptcy to become debt free, because all my sources of income were taken away instantly. And for the next probably 7 years, I had to rebuild a pound at a time, and it was hellish. But I had a couple of good friends who got me through it, and I was very fortunate. But this device has been one of the best things I've ever had for rebuilding our break-even position and then helping us gently and steadily make small investments every week for the last 10 years. So that's going with me. What else? You remember that I love stationery, and I've mentioned it many times. I'm not going to take the large moleskine that is my day-to-day usage tool, and I talked about this when I showed you the Lockby field journal last month. I am going to take, though, its smaller cousin. This is the hardback moleskine in A5. This is a beautiful little creature, but it's a flexible cover, right? So it bends, it sticks in my shorts pocket. It's beautiful. It's also got a little pocket at the back. That's going with me. I've transferred some of the useful data from my moleskine A5 into the back pages of this. It's sensitive information, so I'm not going to share it with you. But that's going, and this is staying on my desk at home. So I've got a means of writing, I've got something to take notes in, I've got a pen and something to get me through the airport. What else am I going to need when I'm there? On the flight, I'm going to start a new book. The book is The Snack Thief by Andrea Camilleri. I have been loving these Inspector Monte Albano mysteries, and I really secretly like to think that something I'm working on at the moment has a similar feel for an independent detective in a larger force. But this is great. It's going on the aircraft with me, and that's my first book. The second book of the holiday is this one. and let the earth tremble at its centres. I went through this about 5 months ago, I think, but I'm taking it with me again because of the way the street descriptions of Mexico City are so accurately portrayed, and because that's a part of the book that I'm working on at the moment, a Coyoacan-based detective working in the Mexico City police force. So I've got 2 books, a notepad and a pen. You know I love my watches, so here we go. This was a gift from my friend Barry, and I'm immensely grateful to it. But there are 2 things that are going. This one is my Seiko SKX, and that will serve me well in the swimming pool, but also swimming in the sea. And this is my daytime watch. Also a Seiko, this one made in 1967, a Seiko 5, and it's a stunning watch. But I want this because the temperature in Cyprus at the moment is very high, and this will be so easy to wear during those temperatures and those hot days. So that's going with me. One for the pool and the beach, and one as a general watch that I will take to me to the coffee shops, to the community writing hub that I'm going to in Nicosia, but also I'll use it when I'm on the farm in Agros in the Troodos mountains with family. So those are my watches. It's going to be, like I said, a hot day every day. So I've got a pair of sunglasses. These, where did I get these? I bought these in Mexico City, Pierre Lacoste, from an optician's that we go to there. So those go and get added to the pile. Let me put that there so they are also visible. Okay. For those of you who are outside of the UK and outside of Europe, we use a different currency. So I've got some euros for day-to-day expenses. I've got 300 euros. I'm quite convinced I won't spend that much in a week, so I expect to bring quite a lot of that back with me. So I've got 1 biro. I'm also going to take 1 fountain pen. This is a platinum. It's a beautiful pen. I'm just going to move these so you can see the colour of it. But it's a stunning pen, and it comes with cartridge refills. Easy pull-off cap from the barrel. Nice click to it, listen. Very clear display so I can see the ink feeding into the nib. And it has these gorgeous, incredibly smooth flowing cartridges that fit just this particular brand of platinum. I can use it with other platinums, but I can't cross-use these in, for example, a Parker or a Schaefer. But it's really good. So that goes with me. And so also do 2 cartridges. They come in these little packs. I think I pay about £2.50 for these at my local art gallery and stationery store, but they are superb. So those go in the bag, along with a debit card. And what's missing? The only thing that's missing is a physical manuscript, which I printed off again today to take with me. And I'll be working on this manuscript while I'm in Cyprus. It currently stands at 45,000 words. I think it should be finished between 60 and possibly 64, 65,000. So if I can add 1,000 words a day, maybe a bit more, I can come back with 7,000 to 10,000 words. I'll be very happy with that, because the words that are going into the document now are some of the final scenes to bring the story to fruition. So this also goes with me on the trip. I'm going to put that, in fact, I'm going to put that underneath my MacBook so that we see a lot of the other things that are part of the trip. Obviously, I'm taking my wedding ring, and I'm taking the beautiful bracelet that my wife bought me 2 years ago in Mexico City, and I love the intertwining of the steel loops. So that goes with me as well. And I'm off for, hopefully, a very productive, very enjoyable time with family, but also a productive time finishing my latest book, because I think for a few days after finishing this one, Meaningful Work, last week, and actually launching that and seeing that now selling quite nicely on Amazon, Meaningful Work, Heartfelt Direction and Practical Actions for Artists, Creators and Makers. I'm really happy with that one. It took me a while to finish it, but I'm really thrilled that people are responding to it nicely. But now I've got the urge to finish this current book and make great progress on that whilst I'm just away from England, away from all the aggro and the stress and the different things that are happening. But I cannot wait. Tomorrow I've got my flight and I'm ready to go. I've got a little 10 kilo suitcase. That's all I need for the week. And this is all that will go in my rucksack on the aircraft with me. Wish me well. We are at the end of June. July traditionally is called Camp NaNoWriMo. It doesn't appeal to everybody. It doesn't necessarily find its place at the moment as a writing challenge that everybody wants to respond to. But that is an opportunity to create another 50,000 words in July. I won't be using it for that. This will be my wrap up for June. And I want this book to be finished by the end of July. So I haven't got to put 50,000 words into a fresh manuscript starting with a blank page. But I've basically got next week and the whole of July to come back to you and say, that new book is finished. I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm thrilled that it's going to be ready. Wish me luck. And let's see how I get on. But this is my packing for basically a week of writing in a new country whilst taking advantage of the weather and spending time with family and business partners in the Republic of Cyprus.